Hi, this is Alex Helmbrecht, the Sports Information Director at Chadron State College, and I'm sitting here with Chadron State women's basketball coach Tim Connealy. The Eagles split last weekend at home. They suffered an 87-43 setback to Colorado Mesa, one of the top teams in the RMAC, and is actually receiving votes in the top 25 poll in women's basketball this week. So one of the top teams in Division II. But then they rebounded very nicely against Western State, earning a 78-70 win. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win. I know it's an important stepping stone for your team just because of how young they are.
Yeah, this was big for our kids just because they've been working so hard, and they've really bought into our philosophy and our system and the way we've been doing things this year. And I know that the results haven't been there from a win-loss standpoint yet, and some of the scores have been a little bit lopsided, but the kids have stayed extremely motivated, extremely positive, and I've been really proud of them for that. And obviously, when you can get a win, at the end of the game, when you have more points than the other team, it makes everyone feel good, and it kind of validates what you've been preaching.
Well, we'll start off with the bad news, then we'll move to the good news, beginning with Colorado Mesa, who entered the game 4-0 and really played up to the billing. Kelsey Siegel had 17 points, preseason RMAC Player of the Year, and then 3 others joined her in double figures. Mesa really did a good job of pounding the paint, scored 42 points inside the painted area against Chadron State, and limited the Eagles to just 10. Really, Coach, the game was decided in the post.
Yeah, it was in the post, and I think even maybe a little less specifically, our lack of offense in the first half. We came out and we just weren't aggressive enough on the offensive end. We tried to execute a couple sets. They had us scouted pretty good, but we thought we would still be okay with some options we had inside of that. But our kids, like you said, we have a very young team. We have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, especially at the guard spot where the ball is at a lot, and our decision-making wasn't great, and we just weren't aggressive. We were playing on our heels. We were passing the ball on top of our heads. I don't think we attempted a single free throw in the first half, and we tried to make that adjustment at halftime, and I know it was a little bit too late, but our kids did it. In the second half, we got a lot more aggressive with dribble penetration, got to the free throw line 17 times. It was just too little too late.
Now, the Eagles put 3 in double figures, led by Dallas Shaw with 11. Katie Rana and Kate Simonton both had 10. And then moving on to Western State, is kind of the nice thing in Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference basketball. You always play 2 games every weekend unless you kind of play during the week. I guess how you look at it, it's a good thing and a bad thing depending on who you play. But the Eagles rebounded nicely and won 78-70. Basically led throughout the entire thing. It was kind of a close game there at the end, but the Eagles did just enough to pull away. Coach, what are your thoughts on that game, specifically with how your team rebounded, kind of from an ugly loss to a good win?
I just thought we let it go. The kids came in and they were really, really focused. Immediately after the game Friday, we gave them a scouting report on Western and just refocused on the next game. And the kids came out and I thought they had a better energy level. I thought we took care of the ball a lot better. Defensively, we really, really stuck to the game plan. And I thought the kids knew the scouting reports very well. Western State hadn't been shooting the ball very well from the three-point line. They did a little bit better against us, but we didn't panic when that did happen. And I thought the kids just were tough, especially in the second half when we had a little bit of a lead. It seemed like Western was able to put 2 or 3 runs on us and get the score back to tied, and our kids just answered. They really did. And late in the game, we had our one of our leading scorers and rebounders, Katie Ranta, foul out in 5 minutes. And I think in the past when we've had a player like that foul out or not be with us, we've really panicked down the stretch. But I think you're seeing the difference in this team that you have in the previous teams that we've had here, and that's just a lot more balance. These kids, we have a lot of kids on the floor that can score. We have a lot of kids on the floor that can step up and be leaders, and I was really proud of a lot of kids that stepped up down the stretch, Katie Ranta included.
As Coach mentioned, Katie Ranta did lead the team with 19 points and 6 rebounds, even though she did foul out and really only played 21 minutes, kind of battled foul trouble all throughout the game. Kate Simonton added 13. Dallas Shaw finished with 15 and 8 rebounds. And Dallas also was very hot from three-point range, finished with 4. She made 4 of 5 from long range. And the Eagles actually shot really well, finished 7 of 15 as a team. And they got a nice performance from Jasmine Lopez, a freshman point guard off the bench, finishing with 14, including all 5 free throws.
Yeah, like I said, we just have a lot of kids to step up. And another one that kind of has gone unnoticed this weekend was Hattie Guzman, who was playing a brand new position, point guard, something she's never done before in her life. And I thought she was pretty steady for the most part. She's going to go through some growing pains there. But Dallas Shaw had a great night, not just shooting the ball, but mentally. I just thought she really controlled her motions well. I think that the thing I liked the most about that stat line was just the 6 shot attempts. You know, obviously she made 5 of 6, but that shows that she was really being patient and not forcing. And you mentioned Kate Simonton, and I thought that once she's gotten her legs underneath her these last couple weeks coming off that foot injury, everyone's really seeing the kind of athlete she is. She's a very explosive athlete, probably the best we have on the team. And when she gets that ball in her hands and she can get into the paint and get close to the rim, she's pretty acrobatic and can finish really well.
The Eagles' offense was crisp. They finished with 16 assists on just 26 made baskets. Coach, so this weekend you're on the road in the Denver area, and actually you'll be on the road next weekend as well, beginning with Colorado Mines and Colorado Christian this weekend, and then at Regis and at Metro State next weekend. Looking at Colorado School of Mines, kind of a team in transition. They have a new head coach, but a pretty similar system to what they've ran before. As women's basketball fans in this area will know, very methodical offensive systems. They'll run a lot of sets. So you probably haven't had a difficult time preparing for them since you kind of know what they're going to do. But how do you expect the game to play out on Friday?
Well, I expect it to be a pretty similar game to what we played Saturday against Mesa. You know, they do run a lot of sets. Their head coach now had been the assistant there the last 3 years, so she knows the system. But offensively, they've tweaked it a little bit. They are running a little bit more of a free-range motion offense, just a 4-out, 1-in. But they still do have all the sets. We have seen all those set plays this year in the games they've played that they've had in the past. So we will be ready. We won't prepare for each one of those individually, but just we'll be aware of where screens are coming from in certain areas of the floor that they're looking to attack. But they are a very, very disciplined team, just like they have been in the past, very methodical. Defensively, they play a strong man-to-man. They're very physical, and they just don't make a lot of mistakes.
They're 4-4 on the season, 1-1 in the RMAC. They defeated Western New Mexico last weekend, and then they lost at New Mexico Highlands. Angie Charchelet leads the team with 18.5 points a game, and then Allie Grazilis is right behind her with 13.5. So it should be a tall task for the Eagles. And then on Saturday, Chadron State will be at Colorado Christian, a team the Eagles have already played this season in non-conference action during a tournament hosted by Metro State. I know that game kind of got a little out of hand. Colorado Christian won 106-68. So I know that you, and specifically your team, are probably ready to play the Cougars again. Yeah,
we're ready to see just how much we've improved since then, you know, and we are pretty lucky that we were able to play them in a non-conference game that, you know, quote-unquote maybe didn't affect us too much, but, you know, we're excited to go down there and see what we have. You know, that first time it did get out of hand a little bit. They run a full court 2-2-1 press and really pushed up their top 4 players, which we weren't ready for, and it created a lot of turnovers, which led to points for them. And when we were able to break the press, we were, you know, taking kind of uncharacteristic fast shots, out of control shots, just because we weren't used to having the ball on that end of the floor. And when we were taking those quick early shots, obviously that sped the game up a little bit and created a lot more possessions and inflated the score. So hopefully this time we can be a little more methodical offensively and a little more patient and maybe slow down their defense, which in turn will slow down their offense.
Colorado Christian is 4-2 overall, but like you and like Colorado School of Mines, 1-1 in the RMAC. They lost at New Mexico Highlands 87-83, and then rebounded with a big win at Western New Mexico 92-63. The Cougars have 4 girls who average double figures, led by Taylor Torres at 15.5 a game. And then Christina Whitelaw, who's on several preseason All-American lists and preseason All-RMAC lists with 13 points. And she also has 13 steals on the season just in 3 games played. So, Coach, it'll be a good weekend to see where you guys are at. And I know a lot of fans kind of have a chance to go to the games just because it's in Denver and it's close.
Yep, we look forward to it, and we'll take all the support we can get.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you. Both of those games will air on Double Q Country, and they're on Friday and Saturday. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Alex.